Kia ora. My name's Len. Len Lidbetter. Bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story about a baby. A baby who was shifted from where he was born before he was 1 year old to a strange country. You know, his parents worked there for a while, but his mum got homesick. And they brought him back, all the way back to the motherland. Yeah. Well, I was that baby, and I can remember sitting in a barrow in the winter, and in the dark, my dad selling vegetables. It's a very faint memory. I mean, I was probably 5 years old at the time. I can remember waiting for my mum in a sweatshop, sewing. Yeah. You see, what had happened was, having come back to the motherland, my mother and father decided, this was no place for them. They had to work hard at any job they could find to get back to New Zealand, where ultimately I was to grow up. But before we got there, I'd started school. How old was I? 5, 6, I don't really know. But what I remember was saying goodbye to my friends, the first friends I can ever remember. What I can also remember is having to give away all my wonderful toys. Gave them away. And I can remember how sad I felt. I didn't really understand any of this. I was just a child. Then there was time on a boat, rocky seas, meeting new friends, feeling a bit strange, landed in a new school, surrounded by other screaming kids saying, did you have colour TV over there? You know, was it really exciting? What was it like? Because I was in New Zealand. They didn't even have television, let alone colour television. Oh, for goodness sakes. Well, I was now to spend the rest of my life in New Zealand. My mother didn't. She came backwards and forwards, so did my sister, but I lived in New Zealand the rest of my life. I'm a New Zealander. That's what I am. You know, I went to university. I was lucky. My university career was a bit scattered. You know, we did drama and I would like to spend more time at university doing some other subjects. I should have been a scientist, but I never was. I did psychology and sociology and anthropology and all of those really exciting stuff. But along with that, I did a few careers too, because I never ever spent a whole university career. I did it in bits and pieces, and in between that, I was commercial gardener, commercial cleaner. I did some panel beating. I used to fix up bathtubs for people, resurfacing them, would you believe? But as part of my university training, I became a teacher. So that was always my default position. So whenever I ran out of money, I'd go running back to teaching again. I even took time off to go and climb mountains. I was a climber and that sort of stuff. Then, of course, I met my wife, Sandy. And we decided at that stage that it was time to raise a family. You know, this life of climbing mountains and partying and all the rest of the stuff that goes with that with young people, that world, that age had now come to an end. So we moved to a nice rural place and we had a family. But remember I told you that story about that little baby who moved and that young child who had to say goodbye to their friends and who had to give away their toys, and the impact that had on my life. So we stayed in one place in our rural centre until our children grew up. Oh, they had a great life. They had the country life. They learned all sorts of wonderful things. They learned to swim. They learned to ride their bikes. They learned to kayak, as we did as a family, because I gave up the climbing. The climbing was so incredibly selfish. Climbing will take you 3 weeks away from home just to climb one mountain, but not kayaking. With our beautiful whitewater rivers, we can take an afternoon off, go for a paddle, come home again, and we can do it as a family. So, our children grew up in the outdoors, experiencing those things. But grow up they did, and they left the nest, and they left home. And so one day, Sandy and I looked at one another. I should say that, we did have pretty successful careers. But we looked at one another and we said, what are we doing? The children are grown up, they've all gone. What shall we do with ourselves? Well, we could stay and work and earn some more money. God, how boring. You know, let's do something different. What would we do if we were retired? Oh, travel? Okay, there's a novel idea, isn't it? So we decided to travel. We still have that default position, so it's like a computer, really, doesn't it? We still earn money by teaching, but this time we control it. We decide when and where we're going to teach. But there's another part of my life as well. You see, from the time I was about 8, I've been on and off the stage. So I've done, well, a friend of mine recently said to me, he said, you know, Len, you've done amateur theatre more times than you care to remember. And I thought, that's so true. You know, every year I managed to do something. And we had bit parts and, you know, extras in movies, a little bit of working for charities, done public speaking, all of that kind of stuff. But just all related. So wouldn't it be nice if we could take that part of our careers a little bit further on? So that's really why I'm here. And that's why I'm making this little video now. Because I'm going to meet you. And you and I, we're going to work together. So kia ora, until we meet.